All right, check one, check two. How we looking? How we sounding? Check, check. Check, check. All right, don't want to listen to that. Hello, Chicago. Great to have you. All right. Big week. Big week. Thanksgiving right around the corner. Questions on the Colts game right out of the gate. Great question, because that's a game with a lot of intrigue. Here's what we're going to do. I got to start with the recap. I also look like I froze. Is that just my computer? What the hell is going on here? What's going on here? All right, so it's running. I paused it. All right, so it's running. Idiot. Stay calm. We got a whole plan for today. I'm not going to let the idiocy get in my way early on. First of all, I see all of you. Everyone in the Bay, special shout out as always. Love you all very much. Thank you for coming. I don't waste your time with a lot of pomp and circumstance. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the tease for everything right off the top. We're going live now, like we do every Sunday, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. We're talking about everything but two games. One game, the Sunday night game. We'll be back here later today, generally with a little bit of a buzz. So as soon as the last afternoon game concludes, I fire this thing up and we will be talking Chiefs-Raiders, which is right down the street today. No one can attend. America. Tomorrow at 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, like we do every Monday, we'll have the Monday stream to get you set for Bucs-Rams, another great game. Now, in addition to that, and this is the one you got to pay attention to, I'm not going to do a stream on Thursday for the Thanksgiving games. I'm going to do that Wednesday. All right? So probably 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific, like we do for all the Monday and Thursday streams. But I'm going to cover the entire Thanksgiving card. Plus, there's 2 college games. And there's a bunch of college games on Friday. So that Wednesday stream is probably going to be packed. I want to get that to everyone early so you don't have to rearrange family plans and Thanksgiving and Friday stuff. Like, that's supposed to be partying. As much as I love talking to all of you, and I love the fact that you come here to watch this, you got better things to do those 2 days. So I'm going to get this on YouTube Wednesday. It'll be live. But the video lives on the channel. So if you want to check it out Thursday morning or Friday, feel free to do so. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to this channel. I'm very good at picking losers, but if we can somehow get to 1,000 subscribers, I don't have to use the desktop anymore. I can go back to the laptop or the phone and the iPad. I'd very much appreciate that. So I'm begging. Literally, I'll beg. I don't know about literally. All right. So that's the update. All the questions I'll answer at the end. Abby asking about the Bet Show. Thank you for watching. It's not. I don't know if there's going to be another one on ESPN2. We did that just last week. But Bet is live tomorrow on ESPN's Twitter channel, Facebook channel, and their YouTube channel, youtube.com/ESPN Sports Betting. We do it every Monday. We'll be live tomorrow at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. All right. So that's that. We're going to answer a ton of questions, Colts game, all that stuff in a little bit. I promoted everything. Here's the recap. 2, 3, and 1 after the Thursday stream, which based on the way I'm running this year is a glorious success. 2, 3, and 1. The winners were Iowa over Penn State yesterday. My alma mater sucks. And Russell Wilson over rushing yards Thursday night. The losers were all from Thursday night. Had the Cardinals, had Kyler Murray over passing yards. He almost had it. And then on the final drive, at the end, they just start chucking for the end zone rather than keep doing what they're doing. Missed that thing by a little. And Kyler Murray rushing yards over missed as well. Those were the losers. Tulane +6 was the push. That was a bad beat. But I'm not going to rehash that this morning here. We're trying to focus on the positive. So 2, 3, and 1 overall, 82, 110, and 1. Absolutely terrible. I said I'd get back to 500 by the Super Bowl. Damn it, I'm going to get back to 500. If I got to start doing college basketball, we're going to start doing college basketball. That starts this week, by the way, as well. All right, let's start with this. Mindset today. Today's about mindset. Got to put the losing streak behind me. You know what I did coming into today? I did this last night. I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to think like a champion all day long. That's it. It's going to be about the power of positivity and thinking like a champion. Tried to trip myself up at the start of this thing, paused the video, thought it had frozen. It didn't. That's just idiocy. I shake that off. Positivity. Last night, I booked a reservation at a great steakhouse right here. Probably shouldn't say where it is. Not accusing any of you of being weirdos, but statistically, there could be one weirdo in the group. Maybe that's me. Hell, I'll say it. Green Valley Ranch. If anyone's in Vegas, I'm going to Hank's tonight. Social distancing, of course, very responsible, masks, all that stuff. But I told myself last night, I was running pretty well in college, and I said, I'm booking a steakhouse reservation for Sunday night. I'm going to think like a champion. I'm going to go into Saturday night. I'm going to go to bed thinking like a champion. I'm going to wake up thinking like a champion. I'm booking the reservation for right after the Sunday night chat. So when we do that chat, right at the conclusion of the last afternoon game, I'm going right over to the steakhouse, watching the Sunday night game, eating well. That's the mindset. These picks are going to be winners. We got 6 today. I'm not even going to waste a ton of time with everything else like normal. That's the rant. Did you check out Joseph Campbell? Do one thing a day that makes you uncomfortable. No, I did not. My email address is joe.fortenbaugh@gmail.com. Remind me, Chip. Thank you, though. I got to remember that. Everyone, people helping people. That's what we're doing here. The power of positivity. All right. Injuries. Here's what we need to focus on with some injuries today. Drew Brees is out. Taysom Hill getting the start for the Saints. More on that in a bit. Josh Hill is out. Myles Garrett is out in the Eagles-Browns game. Zach Ertz is out for the Eagles. Joe Mixon for the Bengals. Christian McCaffrey for the Panthers. Kenny Golladay again for the Lions. DeAndre Swift for the Lions. Spoiler alert. I'm not talking about Lions-Panthers today. I want nothing to do with that game. Danny Amendola, Jadeveon Clowney, Myles Gaskin, David Johnson, still an awful trade. Sam Darnold, Cleveland Farrell for the Raiders, Sammy Watkins, Mitchell Schwartz for the Chiefs. All out today, courtesy of Adam Schefter. You go to the Ravens. Calais Campbell, Brandon Williams, defensive linemen, both listed as doubtful, not expected to play against the Titans, per Schefter. Matthew Stafford is expected to play. Teddy Bridgewater has been warming up with everyone watching him. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Maybe by the end of this, we'll have an update on whether or not he's going to play. Like I said, I want nothing to do with that game. I'm not betting it. No spoilers, no thoughts. I don't want to deal with Detroit. I don't want to deal with Carolina. That game's not going to be appearing outside of this rant right now. That's the end of it. Let me see what else we got here, if there's anything else. Late scratch in the Saints game as well. Marcus Lattimore, cornerback, is going to be out for that game. Okay. That's the injuries. Line moves. We'll go over that. We'll get to the picks. Like I said, not a lot of pomp and circumstance today. Positivity. I booked the steak dinner, thinking like champions today. That's what we're doing. Thinking like champions. Anyone trademark that? You got to figure Notre Dame has play like a champion trademarked. What about think like a champion? Or eat like a champion? Or gamble like a champion? Anyone a trademark lawyer in the house? Let's get to work on those. All right, line moves. Here we go. Cleveland on the look ahead. Look ahead lines, for those who don't know, are the lines that come out a week in advance, right? A full week plus in advance. So this Tuesday, this is week 11. This Tuesday will be going into week 12. You will get all the lines for week 13 this Tuesday. It's the look ahead. It gives you a chance to bet the games in advance. Those lines disappear come Sunday morning when everything goes active. Everything finishes up. The lines come back out. It can be helpful to compare the lines to see if there are any over adjustments in the market. Cleveland was a 2-point favorite against Philadelphia on the look ahead. It is now 2.5. It had gotten as high as 3.5. Eagles money has been showing up. That's one of the picks today. We will explain that. The Saints were 7.5 on the look ahead against Atlanta. That's now down to 3.5. That may seem dramatic, yes, but that's because Drew Brees busted up his ribs and he's going to be out, and they're going with Taysom Hill. That's the situation there. So that's understandable. Carolina was 2 on the look ahead. Then it went down to pick. And now I'm looking at it. It's all the way up to Detroit minus 2.5. So I'm assuming that means Bridgewater's been ruled out. Not definite, but that line move literally just happened. One place has it at 3. Bridgewater has got to be out. Let me just do a quick perusal here. You know what? I just said I wasn't going to talk about that game anymore, and I got caught. I got caught talking about it again. I'm not talking about it. We're moving on. Show goes on. Houston was a 3-point look ahead, 3-point favorite on the look ahead against New England. New England is now a 2.5-point favorite. It's been nothing but Patriots money. If you play DFS, Damian Harris, the running back out of Alabama for the Patriots, is going to be RB1 today. Houston's got the worst run defense in the league. This could be the breakout game for Damian Harris, just throwing that out there. Or it could be classic Belichick. Harris gets the first carry, and then we don't see him again, and some random Burkhead probably runs for 1,000 yards. What else we got here? Pittsburgh was a 10-point favorite over Jacksonville on the look-ahead line. It's now 10.5. Nothing on that one, really. Okay, here's one. We'll explain this because I know this was asked in the chat. So Green Bay was a 2.5-point favorite over the Indianapolis Colts. They were laying points on the road. Colts are now -1.5. It's a big move. That's a 4-point move. It had been as high as Colts -2 for a little bit there. It depends on where you look. It's kind of half and half now. I can't really explain it. I work with Preston Johnson on Daily Wager. I respect his opinion as much as anybody's in this business. He's a really sharp guy. He loves the Packers. I'm not really playing the game. To explain the move, my guess would be Indianapolis has had 10 days to get ready for this game, number one. Number two, Indianapolis has one of the best defenses in the NFL, but you have to be careful. Look at who Indianapolis has played. So is the defense really that nasty, or is it a byproduct of playing a lot of lousy offenses? Keep that in mind. I also have seen Phillip Rivers play poorly against great defenses like Baltimore and Chicago. He's played really well against lousy defenses like Tennessee last week. Green Bay's not lousy. They're not great. They're probably top 14, maybe. You might put him in that category. So he has an opportunity to put some points up today. So that's what we're looking at. Green Bay was getting healthy in the secondary, too, from what I understand. So I'm not playing that game from a side perspective. Might have a teaser as I tease you on that pick for later. So that's where that is. Working down. Cincinnati was a pick on the look ahead at Washington. Washington now laying 1.5. That's another game I want nothing to do with. I don't want to. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm moving on. Baltimore was a 7-point favorite against Tennessee on the look ahead. It is now 6. No surprise there. Baltimore, since that time, went out and got beat by New England on Sunday night. And Tennessee played the Thursday night game that they lost at home to the Colts. This game got as low as Tennessee, I want to say +4.5, +5, and then came back up to 6. Minnesota was a 9.5-point favorite on the look-ahead line against Dallas. That is now 7.5. Miami was a pick-em on the look-ahead. Won again. Beat the Chargers. They are now 4-point favorites at Denver. At Caesars William Hill, we talked about this on Daily Wager this morning. It's like 96% of the bets. 96% of the bets are on the Dolphins. It's going to be the most publicly cited game of the day. Now, I don't have a play on it. Miami just seems really easy. It seems really easy to bet Miami. And maybe it's one of those games where it ends up being easy. Not playing it. Game smells. Chargers were 10.5 on the look ahead against the Jets. It's now sitting anywhere between 9.5 and 10. You lay 10 with the Chargers? You trust them, huh? Playing the Jets with Joe Flacco. Off the bye. Maybe the Jets have something today. So there you go. There's your line movements. Let's get into some picks. Game number 1. I don't love. I don't love Philadelphia +2.5 against Cleveland. I loved it when it was Philadelphia +3.5 early in the week. I also liked it when it was Philadelphia +3 on Friday. Pigeons. We got pigeons flying around. Going to someone else's house. Good. Go out there and huck some rocks up at them if they try this place again. Now at 2.5, I don't love it as much. This has nothing to do with Myles Garrett being out, and it has nothing to do with me being a Philadelphia fan. Believe me, if I have the opportunity to bet against the Eagles, I'll bet against the Eagles. Cleveland is a terrific running team. All right. Nick Chubb, when he's healthy, when they have the offense going, head coach Kevin Stefanski, that's what he wants to do. They want to run. They're fourth in the NFL in rushing. Fantastic. And especially when Chubb's healthy, they can decimate the opposition on the ground. That's the key to their game plan, right? They don't want to have Baker Mayfield slinging it 50 times a game. They want to run the ball. They want to use the run to set up the play action, throw the ball down the field. If you look at Philadelphia from a run defensive standpoint, I think they're like 26th in run defense. So you think, oh my God, Cleveland should be able to run right through these guys. Go a little bit deeper inside the Philadelphia numbers. When you see the rushing stats, they had a couple quarterbacks who ran all over them this year, most notably Lamar Jackson. If you just focus on the rushing yards, Philadelphia is giving up to the running back position. It's 79 per game. That's actually ninth in the NFL. So if the Eagles have to defend a mobile quarterback like Daniel Jones, who's been running all over him, Lamar Jackson, who ran all over him, then yeah, they suck against the run. But when we're just talking about defending opposing running backs, top 10. So limit Nick Chubb and what the Browns want to do from a rushing perspective on offense. Limit. I didn't say stop. I said limit. I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to stop anything, but they might be able to limit Chubb. And what that does is it shifts the onus over to Baker Mayfield. And that is where Philadelphia wants the game. And if we're betting on Philadelphia, that is where we want the game. Mayfield ranks 24th in quarterback rating this season behind individuals like Phillip Rivers and Gardner Minshew. So think about all the heat Phillip Rivers takes for sucking. Mayfield, while great in his commercials, is nowhere near as good as Rivers when it comes to quarterback rating. Look at his completion percentage as well. 29th in the NFL. He's completing a fewer percentage of his passes than Daniel Jones of the Giants and Nick Foles of the Bears. So these are quarterbacks that get maligned left and right. Yet we don't really malign Mayfield. And I'm not saying we should. Cleveland's been okay this year. They deserve a little bit of respect for turning things around and being somewhat competent. But that's what I think happens today. Philadelphia is capable of limiting opposing running backs. And if they do that to Cleveland, Cleveland will have to turn to Mayfield. And if they turn to Mayfield, that's where the problems start. That is why we like Philadelphia plus 2.5. I'm not doing it, but I also think Philadelphia is a pretty good 6-point teaser play. You can tease them up to 8.5. This is where Philly surprises the world after laying a turd last week. And everyone goes, oh, look at the Eagles, probably going to win the NFC East. And then they'll fall flat to whoever they play next week. You can pretty much write that in stone. So that's game number one. Game number two. I'm not really worried about Taysom Hill all that much. Maybe I should be. I will take Atlanta plus the 3.5. So the storyline coming into this game is the Breeze injury and Taysom Hill's first start. Now everyone thought it was going to be Winston. Great gamesmanship by Sean Payton. But then it ended up being Taysom Hill. And now everyone's interested in what's going to happen here. Quietly, the handicap in this game is Atlanta's offense versus New Orleans' defense. That's where this lies. Atlanta is, I believe, second in the NFL in passing. We know they can throw the ball. There's a lot of stuff they can't do. Close out games, win Super Bowls, look competent on a regular basis, but they can throw the ball all over the field. That's the weakness of the Saints defense. They're a top 3 run defense, but they're a bottom 10 pass defense. That plays right into what Atlanta wants to do. Atlanta doesn't want to run Todd Gurley 30 times today. That ship has sailed. They'll use them a little bit, but they want to throw the ball. And if they're able to throw the ball with success against the Saints defense that's shaky defending the pass, who will also be down Marshawn Lattimore, their best corner today, now suddenly the opportunity is there not only for Atlanta to score, but to possibly play with a lead. How does Taysom Hill play? From behind. He seems like a running quarterback who's going to throw a little bit. He's only thrown 18 career passes in the NFL. Now, maybe this Sean Payton offense that's designed around him is going to be fantastic. Payton's a very bright offensive mind. Maybe Hill lights it up today. After all, it is Atlanta. They're not very good. But whether it was Winston, Hill, or Breeze, the Atlanta defense wasn't expected to do much anyway. I'm not making a pick because I think Atlanta's defense is going to be great. Remember, they've had 2 weeks to get ready for this game, by the way. I'm making the pick because I like Atlanta's offense. And I think that if Taysom Hill wants to lower his shoulder and run in the linebackers and safeties like he normally does, that could be a problem because he's not going to play 10 snaps today. He's going to play 65 plus, and he's going to need to make plays in the fourth quarter. And if he's taking shots on his shoulders and his ribs and his legs all day long, who knows what he's going to be feeling like in the fourth quarter when he needs to make a play. Atlanta plus 3.5. I'm not playing him in a tease, but Atlanta as a teaser option, also very solid in my opinion. That's 2. Game number 3. This might be my favorite one. hold your nose. It's going to be the Jaguars plus 10.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. People might think that's crazy, but we just went through this 2 weeks ago, and we talked about this on the stream. Pittsburgh laying double digits on the road against a bad team. 2 weeks ago, they did that in Dallas, and they were losing in the fourth quarter. Now, they won the game, but they only won by 5. They didn't cover. The point is, Pittsburgh is a fantastic football team, but they have trouble getting up for games like this. These are flat spots for them. Flat spots for Tomlin, flat spots for the team. And oh, by the way, they've got Baltimore on Thanksgiving 4 days from now. Look ahead spot combined with a flat spot. That's exactly what we want. In addition, Jacksonville went to Green Bay last week and covered the spread. They were actually beating the Packers at Lambeau in the fourth quarter. Now, they lost the game, but they were somewhat competent. That doesn't mean they're going to be competent today. I'm betting that they are, but they had a good showing last week, and this Pittsburgh team is known for flat performances in spots like this. And especially with Baltimore on deck, I'd be very careful. A lot of people like Pittsburgh. They want to play them in survivor leagues and all that. Not going to talk you off it. Just going to tell you I'm playing the Jaguars plus 10.5. Game number 4. It will be Tennessee plus 6 over Baltimore. So we talked earlier about the injuries along the Baltimore defensive line. I think they're going to be down 3 defensive linemen. Calais Campbell's not playing. Brandon Meebane's not playing. I think there's another one in there as well. Tennessee's got 10 days to get ready for this game. So a lot of people are using the revenge angle. Baltimore got knocked out of the playoffs by Tennessee last year. Revenge. I mean, I don't know. Are they going to show up more in this game because of the revenge? They hate New England. Shouldn't they have shown up last week? It's not like they did anything in that game. I was on the wrong side of that. Still bitter, but we move on. So Tennessee's got 10 days to get ready. They got Derrick Henry going against a really banged up Baltimore defensive line. Now, Baltimore, remember, also has Pittsburgh in 4 days. We just talked about that. So a potential look ahead, although probably not really because they got to win whatever they can. The thing with Baltimore is that they cannot play from behind at all. We've seen it in 3 key games this year. They fell behind against the Chiefs. They never got back in it. They fell behind against the Steelers in the second half. They never got back in it. They fell behind against the Patriots last week. They never got back in it. They fell behind against Tennessee in the playoffs last year. They never got back in it. Baltimore is a front-running organization. And I don't mean that as in like the sarcastic, like, yeah, you're a bunch of front runners. They need to play with the lead. They need to play from out in front or they don't know what to do. It's crazy to say, but that's the evidence. This team wants to run the ball with Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards, whoever, Dobbin from Ohio State. They want to drain the clock, control the tempo, rest the defense, then let the defense make a couple plays, then go back out there. When they were 14-2 last year, they were number 1 in rushing, number 1 in time of possession, number 1 in rushing attempts per game, all those stats. They were fantastic. And they get the lead and they're able to just wear on you. But when they have to play from behind, suddenly they got to start throwing the ball. That's not their wheelhouse. Jackson has not developed into a pocket passer. He has not taken another step forward. Doesn't mean he sucks, but he won an MVP last year and he hasn't gotten better. And that's what Baltimore needs. Baltimore needs him to get better, and he hasn't. And I think with 10 days of rest, Mike Vrabel's the head coach. He spent 8 years as a linebacker under Belichick in New England. He obviously watched that tape from last week. He knows what Belichick's trying to do. He knows his defense can probably try to do something similar, or at least hope to do something similar. And he beat these guys last year. If Derrick Henry gets going today, that means Tennessee plays with control. They could play from the lead. And then what's Jackson going to do? Right? We haven't seen him play well from behind. So you're going to put 6 points in my pocket. I'll take it. Tennessee plus 6. That's pick number 4. One more than the tease of the day. Oof, this is another ugly one. You notice the trend today. It's all dogs, and it's very, very ugly. I am going to be playing the Dallas Cowboys plus 7.5 against the Minnesota Vikings. And I know this is a popular survivor play. I'm not trying to talk anyone off that stuff. I'm just letting you know I'm playing the Cowboys plus 7.5. Few key factors here. Number 1, the spot. Dallas has had 2 weeks to get ready for this game. They're off the bye. Last time we saw them, they hung tight with Pittsburgh. So rested, healthier, hopefully ready to play. Mike McCarthy, by the way, the head coach, in his career coming off a bye, is 9-4 straight up, 10-2-1 against the spread. That was with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback in Green Bay, obviously, but maybe there's something there. Maybe there isn't. Maybe there is. McCarthy has had success coming off the bye. So they've had that time to get ready. Meanwhile, Vikings just played Monday night against the Bears. So they're on the short week. So this is a classic situation. One team's off the bye, the other team's playing with the short week. I also looked this up. I don't know if this is anything, but I found this fascinating. So Minnesota just played Chicago on Monday night. Chicago's got a very physical defense, and they got a lousy offense capable of making you look a lot better than possibly you really are. Teams that have played the Bears this season, the following week, those teams are 1-7. They've gone 1-7, and in those 7 losses, they've been outscored by 14 points per game. They're 2-6 against the spread. I don't know if that's something or nothing, but I thought that was interesting as hell. 1-7. So you play the Bears, and then the next week you lose. You're 1-7, 2-6 against the spread, and in those 7 losses, you're losing by an average of 14 points per game. That's nuts to me. Now, maybe that's the physical nature of going against the Bears defense. It wears on you a little bit. I think some of that might be teams look a little bit better against the Bears than maybe they really are, right? The Bears offense has just been abysmal this season, and they get into these ugly games. And if you end up beating them, you're beating a good defense. You're getting credit for beating a good defense when a lot of times the Bears offense set a lot of that up for you. So maybe it's something, maybe it's not. But I'm playing Dallas. And I hate to say it, I don't want to watch any of that game. Plus 7.5. So those are the 5 straight plays. I'll give you a tease. I am going to take Green Bay, who's at +2 some places, 1.5 at others. I'm going to tease it from 2 up to 8. Green Bay +8 against Indy. I don't know much about the move. I trust Preston's analysis. I think even if the Colts win this game and cover, good luck covering 8 against Green Bay. I think they'll be able to score enough. And I'm going to tease it with the Chiefs on Sunday night from 7.5 down to 1.5. So it kind of spoils where I'm going tonight, but I'm going to have a bunch of props as well. And I'm probably going to play the side and figure some other things out with the total. Big collaboration of picks coming tonight, one way or another. If I'm hot today, I'm coming in firing on everything because we're going to let it ride. If I'm cold today, I'm going to try to get it all back. So I'm going to be firing like crazy there as well. So it's going to be Chiefs, Packers in the tees. Packers +8, Chiefs -1.5 because they are currently a 7.5 point favorite. So to recap, Eagles +2.5 over the Browns. Falcons +3.5 over the Saints. Jaguars +10.5 over the Steelers. Titans +6 over the Ravens. Cowboys +7.5 over the Vikings. And a Chiefs Packers teasers. Packers +8, Chiefs -1.5. If anyone has any questions, fire away. This is the time where I'll answer some. I'll also promote the fact that we're back later this afternoon. When that last afternoon game goes final, we go live, generally with a little bit of a buzz. And then we're back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, to preview Rams-Bucks. And then we're going to do a stream on Wednesday this week. It's going to be the entire Thanksgiving card, plus some college games for Thursday, Friday. We're not going to go Thanksgiving. I want you to enjoy your time with your family. We'll go nuts Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Who would your survivor play be? I'm not answering that question. I'm one of the worst survivor players in the world. I was literally eliminated in week 1 this year, and it's not the first time that's happened. It's happened several times. You do not want my survivor analysis. I will not give you my survivor analysis. There will be none of that. I'm the worst in the world at that game. Thoughts on Houston, New England? I do not want to lay points with New England on the road. Simple as that. I think that they were impressive last week against Baltimore, and they deserve a lot of credit. But now all of a sudden they're laying 2.5, 3 in Houston. Houston's terrible. But I've seen New England play really bad this year. And maybe they figured out in this game. Maybe they will run like crazy because Houston can't stop anybody. But Deshaun Watson's on the other side. And Houston, for as bad as they've played, they've hung tight in a lot of games. I want nothing to do with that one. I do not want to lay points with New England on the road. Fair enough. Who does Doug have? I think Doug's got a couple that are left. I think he likes Minnesota. I know Mike Clay likes Minnesota. Tyler Fulgham, who's on the show as well, he's still alive. He's having a great run. He likes Minnesota as well. Pittsburgh, Jacksonville over 46.5. I'm not really playing the total in that game. I like Jacksonville plus the points. I got nothing. I'd love to give you some analysis on that. I got nothing. Nothing. Any concerns with Philly, Cleveland weather? No, that's where I want Philly. I was expecting weather to be inclement in that game. And, you know, that hurts. That means crowd the box even more. Limit Chubb and let Mayfield beat you. He's not good in the wind. Wentz hasn't been good doing anything, so, you know, that'll probably even itself out. Anything else? Looks like we got them all. All right. Good stuff. Thank you all for coming. It's noon. Dolphins-Broncos angle. It just seems so obvious. 96% of the public for Caesars William Hill, 96% of the tickets are on the Dolphins. But I don't see any, like, that's not a pros versus Joes game. I think the Joes love the Dolphins. The public loves the Dolphins, and that's it. I don't know if the Sharps are playing anything here. I mean, I thought about just throwing the Dolphins in here and playing it, but I don't know. Something just, anytime you have that high of a percentage coming together on one game, normally feels like a bad situation. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins went out there and won 31-10, right? That defense has been really good. Maybe the elevation gets to them. They were in Arizona 2 weeks ago. Then they came back to play the Chargers. Now they're going back to the Mountain Time Zone. I don't know what the weather is. It's probably going to be chilly today. You're playing at elevation. Maybe all this winning and excitement catches up with you. Maybe. So that's where we're at. I'm staying away. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you this afternoon. Conclusion of the last afternoon game. How many do we have? Green Bay, Indianapolis is 1. Dallas, Minnesota's 1. Miami, Denver, Jets, Chargers. Whichever one of those is the last to go final, we're going live. Unless one goes late into overtime and we're getting really close to the Sunday night game, then I might go live a little bit earlier. You'll see it. Thank you for coming. Good luck today. Visualize. Gamble like a champion today. Okay? Gamble like a champion today. I booked a reservation for a steak dinner tonight because I'm visualizing the win. Visualizing it. Go get them.